building an indie business in the center of venture capital. I am Alex Edmonds, also known as SupremeRumHam on the internet, and this is the Building an Indie Business podcast. Okay, let's get started. So, today I wanted to discuss the open podcast email list and how I've been growing it. So I'm going to give you the types of sign-up forms that I've been using. I'm going to be talking about, the types of sign-up forms. There's sign-up methods, let's just say that. The advantages of them, the problems, whether each one is invasive or not, and a few other things about each one. Okay, so let's get into it. The first method that I have been using to grow the email list is pop-ups. So I have two kinds of pop-ups. I have the exit pop-up when someone attempts to exit, like go to the URL bar in that area. Something will pop up and ask them to sign up to the email list. And the second pop-up is the bottom of the page pop-up. So when someone reaches the very bottom of any page on the blog, a pop-up will show up and ask them to sign up for the email list. I like these two pop-ups because they're not invasive. They don't interrupt people when they are on the site, and they're not invasive as well because they show up when someone is leaving, so they're done with the website, or if they're reading an article, it shows up at the end when they're done with the article. And this gives them an opportunity to reevaluate quickly if they want to visit the site again, because if they join the email list, they're going to have to come again. So yeah, the problems with pop-ups. So I use MailChimp's pop-ups on the Open Podcast website, and they don't always show up. I have a plugin which lets me watch people on the website and how they interact with everything. And sometimes the pop-up, they'll hit the bottom of the page and the pop-up won't show up. That's messed up. So there's nothing I can do about this except maybe build my own pop-up and use it, which I have done on the podcast website, actually. So it loses me subscribers, and also sometimes never mind. The next problem I have is that people might have JavaScript blocked, so this prevents them from the pop-ups from showing up. This actually might be why sometimes the MailChimp pop-ups don't show up, actually. And then pop-ups might not be accessible because there's a change in the environment. So a screen reader might not be able to show the screen reader user the pop-up, and that loses me an opportunity to get those subscribers, right? So that sucks. Okay. Next thing I have is a subscription tab. So on the nav bar, it's like home, forum, podcasting book, subscribe, and when someone clicks the subscribe tab, it's an embedded form. This doesn't disappear on me or not show up. It's always there. It's reliable. It's not invasive because the person has to voluntarily click on the tab to sign up so they know what to expect. The problem is that it blends in with the other content. It's a very small section in terms of how you get there, right? So, and then people might avoid this tab because they don't want to subscribe. So yeah, I can't convince them to click on the subscribe tab. They have to do it themselves. Okay. So my third method is when I'm doing markdown, like when I have to use a markdown editor, I link to the form at the very bottom of the page. So I'll have my article or whatever, my blog post, and then after the conclusion, I'll have 2 dashes. Then on the next line, I say, if you enjoyed this post, sign up for the Open Podcast email list. And it is a link to a form for the newsletter, right? So I do this on Reddit. I do this on Indie Hackers. It gives me a chance to engage with readers, right? Because I'm directly seeing them. Not directly, actually. I don't have a lot of access. Yeah. It's good. One benefit is that I get to put my writing in front of a bunch of people through platforms that aren't mine, and I could capture those emails. So yeah. The problems, not my platform. I would not, if it was my choice, I wouldn't have the markdown link because it's small. It blends in with the other text. The benefits of the pop-ups is that they're in your face, right? Because it blends in, people might not always see the link. So yeah, that sucks. Okay, now link to the form. This is like a landing page that I created to get people to sign up, and so this is the link I'm always sending out when I have to send a link to people. It's where most people sign up. I link it at the bottom of places. It can be posted anywhere, so that's great. Problems is I can't see where the signups are coming from or where the link was posted. So I don't know if someone read my Indie Hackers post and they decided to sign up, or the sign up came from Reddit, because it's not my platform. I don't have that type of access. The only analytics given are my platform to theirs. So if I link it at the bottom of a blog post and someone clicks on it, I can see that. And then if they sign up, that's how I know someone used the form. That's about it. I can't see how many people click on the form when it's on Indie Hackers or Reddit. So that sucks, right? Although this isn't invasive because it's optional to click on the form. So yeah. Yeah. So another method is I use the landing page and I put it in the podcast show notes. You may have seen it. Yeah, that's it's a link to the form. It's because it's the landing page. I figured if anyone is interested in listening to this podcast, they might have an interest in joining an open podcast. So I put it in the show notes. the having it in the show notes gives me several chances to convince someone to sign up or catch their attention, because with every new episode, it's a chance for someone to sign up for the email list. The problem is that I use these show notes for SEO, and I have a sea of links, and so a potential subscriber would have to navigate the sea of links and happen to see the email list form and then click on it. So that might be hard to do. People might not even read the show notes at all. So yeah, they won't see the form then. And this is not invasive because it's optional, just like the subscribe tab. It's not in your face. You have to click on it, right? Okay. So mid-article link. In the intro, right after the intro paragraph, I put a little blurb. And Shaw, shout out to Shaw, he showed me this tactic, I guess, or this method. It's not a tactic. Of putting like a little blurb about having people sign up for the email list right after the intro paragraph. So I think it says something like, did you know you could get more content like this if you sign up for the email list? And it's a link to the landing page. I'm not sure how effective this is. I haven't really seen anyone click on it. Someone may have clicked on it. I think it would be better to embed a form, maybe make it a little more in your face. This isn't invasive because people can scroll right past it. People might not click on it because they're reading, or they sign up and don't continue reading, and the entire point is for them to be reading the content, right? Okay. So the next method is I use Zapier. So people purchase the book, people purchase the workflow document. Both are linked in the show notes. Once they sign up, once they download each one, they get an email that sends them a link asking them if they want to join the newsletter list. And why I do this is because I want to keep them in the loop for the next purchasable content that I create. So if I create another book or I create another type of workflow document, I want them to know about it right away. So this is slightly effective. I've seen maybe 3 to 5 people join the email list after downloading the content. So yeah, this is a little invasive because it's unexpected, right? I don't say, hey, once you downloaded this, you'll be getting this email, even though I probably should. Anyways, and the next problem is also related. Because it's unexpected, people might miss it, so they have a desire to sign up, but they don't because they don't see the email, or they have a ton of emails that are unread, and this is just another one. So yeah, okay. The next thing I do is I offer a lead magnet, and this is the last one actually. So my lead magnet, it didn't take a lot of work for me. I have always been creating videos for people related to podcasting, and I took all the videos and I created a private YouTube playlist, and I don't even remember where, but I offer this playlist, this private playlist somewhere to some people that I was like, get this private playlist if you join the email list. So that's somewhere. And the reason why I created this is because if they want podcasting content, I give it to them, and then I give them more podcasting content through the community. Correct? Yes, that's what I do. Yeah, the lead magnet is similar to content that they would get in the email list. This isn't invasive because it's voluntary. The problems with this method is that people might subscribe, and once they get the email, the lead magnet, I guess, not the email, they will unsubscribe, right? And then another problem with the lead magnet, or lead magnets just in general, is that you have to create a product, right? It's just something extra that you have to do. So you have to keep creating the email list content, and then you have to create this lead magnet to convince people to join the email list. So the next email list I have to create, I have to think of something else to, like another lead magnet to create to capture emails. So yeah, it's a little extra work that, I don't know. Okay. That's all I have for this episode. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.